Hey friends, welcome to another edition of Minimal Monday. Minimal Monday number wrap up, number 71 this week. Um, I'm gonna curate for once. I'm gonna curate super tightly this week. Trying to raise the bar for everyone yet again. Um, there was some good imagery submitted this week, so yeah, let's give this a whirl. Let's see what we come up with. My Fab of the Day award, without any doubt, this week goes to Michael Diblicek. Yet again, he posted a fantastic minimal snowscape. Um, just a power line, and I mean, I say just a power line, but it's kind of difficult to do. I mean, it looks simple, and it is simple. The resulting photograph is simple, but yeah, Michael really lined these poles up really well. Because if you look closely, I don't know if you see this on the video feed, but there's a pole behind the pole in the foreground. Um, it's kind of faintly noticeable here on my screen, but I'm pretty sure in the full res version of this, it is obvious. Um, Simple, you know, it's just a, and again, I'm trying to find some meaningful words here. And like I said last week, when I cannot come to the right words, it means that I really like what I'm seeing. And again, this photograph is all about lines. Everything is about lines, it's about symmetry, it's about, yeah. This is as good as it gets. Beautiful work, Michael. Thank you yet again. And I'm seeing that this snowscape series is going really well. I need to, at the end of this winter, I want to see the whole series. So make sure, uh, be sure to make a gallery on your website that I can check out. Anyways, a very, very, very close second was um, this photograph by Chris Schofield. We've said it again. It's okay to use deep blacks. And here's a prime example of it is okay. It is okay to use blacks. I can only imagine how awesome this must look large. Just the amount of light that is, radiating from the center outward is really neat. And as well, Chris texted me last week saying, "Wait till you see, my new photograph." And he didn't show me. He just said, "I'm going back to the dark side." And when I saw this, I immediately knew it was his, and I'm glad he kind of found his darker side again, because that is the work that we are used to see from him. Beautiful butte, somewhere in Glacier, was it? Glacier National Park. Yeah, I wish this was in my portfolio. Great job, buddy. Awesome photograph. What about this one by Michael Salmila? Great long exposure again. The clouds are awesome. Same with the previous photograph of Chris. The movement in the clouds is gorgeous. This looks like a first storm rolling in almost. I see the light in the back, shining from underneath the cloud, and maybe there's some rain or snow involved. What I really like is the sense of scale in this photograph by using the skyline as a scale indicator, and I also like um, the contrast between the big metropole, so to speak, and I don't know, like the access to easy access to water, um, with that pier, which looks kind of deserted. Um, Beautiful tones. I like that the top and bottom of the image is black. It keeps my eye from wandering around too much, and that pier sticks into the frame really well. Um, it ends on the diagonal of the image, and then yeah, the bottom of the cloud kind of or the um, area that is just above the cityscape there, or the skyline. That is the middle. So it's kind of almost the square is almost split in two, but or in half, but it is not. And then I love the that white line too. Beautiful contrast. Absolutely amazing work, Michael. Thank you again for adding this your work every week to this little theme. What about this one? But Deepak Ghosh. Um, I like the processing on this. This is almost like taking a page from Joel Chinchillara's handbook on long exposure photography. Um, I like the composition, I like the clouds, the movement, good tones, nice water. I would change a few things though. Um, and this is no critique on Deepak. This is just my observation. There's something weird going on um, in the first pylon. Um, the space in between the diagonals of the pylon looks like your adjustment filter the clouds did not do anything there. I would adjust that. And this is just a question towards you, and but the bottom or whatever's underneath the bridge probably is fog. Knowing San Francisco, there's probably a thick layer of fog behind the bridge, and that's why the clouds seem to stop on the bridge. I would darken up the left edge. Uh, there's like that concrete middle thing. Whatever's left of that, I would darken that then the clouds underneath the bridge up, or that area underneath the bridge up a little bit. Because once you see it, that the movement of the clouds kind of stops on the bridge. It's kind of weird. Keep in mind, this can be what I just said. Um, can be completely visible in the original image. I don't know. It looks like there's two areas there. Either or, this is an awesome image. I like the tones. Like I said, I like the water. I like the softness of on the underside of the pier in the foreground, and actually the movement of the cloud. That's what attracted me to this image. There's a little bit further tweaking, I think, and then this will be an awesome photograph. Thanks again for you two, week after week, for posting your work to Minimal Monday. This was a very intriguing photograph by Guiton Behet. I don't know why. I guess it's the contrast between the sticks in the foreground and the wispiness of the clouds. We talked about this in the past. That I personally I like the contrast between what I call male and female elements. Male elements being, the hard sticks in this composition, and the female soft parts of the composition would be the wispy clouds. And I like that composition. I mean, it often works very well with trees in front of mountains too. The trees being the soft element then, and the mountains being the male dominant part, and of the often of the composition. This is really interesting. I think this is a very intriguing image. Um, Good composition. The path is leading my eye right to that. Probably stairs, stairs. Those stairs, and then yeah, just those sticks are intriguing me. Good composition, rule of thirds, beautiful. Good job, guitar. What about this one by David Orr? Again, long exposure photograph where the water, I suppose, turns to white. But then that island on the horizon line is almost like a brush stroke. Like this is, believe it was somewhere in Japan, photographed in Japan. What are you doing in Japan, David? I didn't see that post. Anyways, good contrast, the black of the sky with the white of the foreground water, and then that brush stroke, a violent, kind of underlining the whole composition. Good, like this is also a 4x5 kind of image too. Yeah, beautiful work, awesome. I enjoyed this photograph by Sandra Parlo this week. Thick, heavy fog, and a beautiful tree. And again, this is probably, I can't see it all too well, but I think that tree or the area has flooded. And if I would have to guess, almost looks like a whole bunch of ducks on the left side. I don't know what that is. Anyways, but we've talked about this before in the past too. It's when you're close to the area that you photograph, or no, let me rephrase that. When you stick to an area close to where you live, you will have more chances to photograph things that are out of the ordinary, because you see the changes every day, as minute as they are. And I haven't read Sandra's post, but that's how this feels to me. This is probably kind of a local event. This thing floods, this area floods, and Sandra took the opportunity to take this photograph. Add in some fog, and this composition, this photograph shows you that the fog was lifting, because I get that golden light in there, and that's why what I love so much about this photograph is there's such a sense of light in this. I can almost smell the air. I can almost hear the world waking up. Beautiful work, Sandra. Thank you again for all your for submitting your work. And the last photograph I'd like to share with you is this one by Adam Williams. Adam is photographing with film, just like I do. We are using the same camera. Yeah, I like this a lot. I mean, Adam kind of asked in his post about rules and breaking the rules. In my opinion, this is not breaking the rules at all. Sure, the tree is centered, and a lot of people say or believe you cannot place stuff in the middle. Yeah, you can, right? Um, Often with pretty good success. It works a little bit better in square format, but ours, our 6x7 format is, practically square. It works in 4x5 even, right? I would say in horizontal 35 mil, you kind of tend to have a lot of empty edges. That doesn't mean you cannot pull it off. It's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little more difficult to do it. But in this photograph, you've done it tastefully, I think. I like how you kept the tree as a silhouette, and then probably burned the edges in a little bit. That is a good image. I like it. I like it a lot. And you also said something about this is a no frills image, kind of. There's no hidden meanings, or I kind of disagree on that. But I think every photograph, although or as simple as it might look, um, you can put a meaning in there. Um, for me, this is definitely one of these images that does have a personal meaning, I think, at least for me. And there's one exception I want to share with you, and that's this one from Stephanie. Oh my God, Sachal, anyways, shut. Stop laughing, Stephanie. Wait, there was an umlaut. It's German. Anyways, Sachal. Oh, I can't pronounce this. We've talked about triangles before. Great example of the usage of triangles and repeating shapes. Now, don't book next week if I see photographs of the pyramids of Egypt, it's not going to cut it. All right. It's not because I say triangles are awesome that next week everybody needs to post pyramids. But I like the repeating shapes. I like that Stephanie kept this very graphical. The contrast is very high. Whites and blacks. There's not a lot of grays in there. But it kind of appeals to me. I kind of like it. There's diagonals involved and lots of lines and this is a good photo. I like this a lot. For some reason, it was just appealing because it was so graphical and very simple. I just forgot to tell you guys something, but we all know because we were paying attention last week that there will not be a Minimal Monday on May 6th, May 13th, or May 20th. So keep your images. Keep your images for the week after. I think, me being away and you guys having 3 weeks to come up with something special. It's going to be a good one. That, when is that? Sorry, I'm just doing this again. May 27th. I have a feeling that Minimal Monday, May 27th, the edition of May 27th is going to be freaking wicked. Alright? Now, this was it for this week. I curated very tightly. There was a lot of stuff by the regulars and that I kind of skipped. And I have a feeling that what I featured, those were the images for me that really stood out. So yeah, thank you again for adding all your work to Minimal Monday, and I guess I'll be seeing you next week for another edition of Minimal Monday. Have a nice week, everybody.